location, doing something kind of fun. It's been a kind of a long week, so we thought we'd do what I call a big old king can review. The old Modelo Especial out of Mexico. I don't normally drink king cans ever. Typically don't drink anything out of a can that doesn't come in a 6-pack that costs over $10. I think I paid $2.50 or $3 for this can at the grocery store. So this is kind of fun. They call it an imported beer, which I think is kind of funny. But it is truly an imported beer. It's out of Mexico. So no disrespect to that at all. It's been available since 1925, or brewed since 1925 in Mexico, and then it's been available in the U.S. since 1990. What's interesting is it's brought in by Crown Imports, and I pulled up the list of stuff that they import, and I had absolutely no idea that the Mexican beer conglomerate, as I would call it, were all tightly wound into the Crown Import label. It's Corona Extra, Corona Light, Modelo Especial, Negro Modelo, Pacifico, Victoria, and then I think it's Tinsto, I think is how you pronounce it, Tinsto, I believe is how you say it, Lager, and Pure Draft. So anyway, what do they call this thing? They call this a rich, full-flavored Pilsner beer. Slightly sweet, well-balanced, light hop character, and crisp finish. I always call these very refreshing beers. Very, very, very filtered, crystal clear, lots of carbonation, fairly white, frothy head, easy to drink, great on a hot day. Never had it in a big king can before. I've had it with fajitas. So this is what it does present with. It definitely has that nice effervescent carbonation coming to the top, thin frothy head. When you smell this beer, you definitely can smell that light hop character, and they always use the word crisp with these beers, and I agree. They taste clean, they smell clean, they've got a little bit of hop character to it, a little bit of malt, but not much. And they're just, your typical lager. Now, this beer, to me, is totally different than like a Corona. I think Corona has kind of a lighter taste to it. This has a little more punch to it, a little bit more hoppiness to it, and I don't think it's as sweet as some of the other Mexican beers. Some people might disagree with me, but I think, for example, like Corona is more on the sweeter side for me. Now, granted, I also typically put a lime in Corona, almost always, which obviously is a citrus and has a lot of sweetness to it. So it's kind of an unfair comparison, but I don't ever drink Corona without a lime. I typically don't ever drink this with any sort of fruit added to it. Some people do and use a lime, and a lot of people in restaurants will serve it with a lime, but I don't. Let's see, it's 4.4% alcohol by volume. I'd buy it again. I think it's kind of, they say, do as the French do as the Romans do. When I go to a Mexican restaurant, I always order Mexican beer. Why? I don't know. That's just what it feels right, and is part of the experience, and this is a good one of their beers. So like I said, definitely clean, very filtered, easy to drink, really good, in my opinion, really cold. Real cold glass on a hot summer day. That's definitely where I would put this beer. This is on our section of microbeerreviews.com that we call not so micro. So we typically don't rate these. I mean, I'd rate it at least a 3. I mean, I'd buy it again. I already told you where I drink it. And, for $3 for a king can, as far as value is concerned, I think that's pretty phenomenal. So check it out, the old Mexican Modelo. Let us know what you think, and thanks for watching microbeerreviews.com. We'll see you again real soon.